Hello everyone and welcome back again. I'm so glad to be here with some new energy today. Spoiler alert, these footage were probably filmed a few weeks ago, and for the record, a lot of things have changed in my life because y'all know the 20s can get kind of crazy sometimes. But anyways, despite the fact that these footage were kind of outdated a little bit, it was still who I am and still part of my life, so I decided to turn it into a simple and cozy video. And for today's vlog, we are going to be surrounded by materialism, and we're just going to have a lot of packages to unbox and a way more unscripted yapping than the previous one. And in this specific case, we're having a lot of books and paper oriented packages. And also, I'm getting this old iPad from my sister because she's getting a new one. So we are going to explore the possibilities of my newfound digital device. And this vlog is also going to be featuring a small special package from Japan. Yay! And I will be talking about the package way later in this video. And yes, for the past few weeks, I have finally allowed myself to rest fully. And by fully, I mean no commission work, no planning for the passive income, and no thinking about work-oriented issues. That means that I have had a full month of existential crisis again, and 30 whole days just figuring out my next steps in my education and career. And I have not done yet. I still have, until July to finally settle on my decisions. That is probably a month from now, but a month is already a lot for me. Anyways, the reason why I needed these kinds of moments in my life is because I really do want to have a clearer understanding of who I am and what my abilities are and how I am going to use my knowledge for the better. And to be honest, the more I learned about the world, and the more I realized how freaking small I am. And the best I can do for literally everyone right now is to take my time. Take my time and get more insights on my understanding first. So, for example, get more insights on my future major, get more insights on the plans that I've had in my mind for a very long time, and just doing the best I can to make everything more approachable and to make my goals more approachable. Because for me personally, a goal is nothing without a step-by-step. I have written down so many goals in my life, and most of them are unachievable because I didn't take my time to plan out the small steps first. I can literally write down that I want a big house and I can never achieve it unless I've had an idea of how I can achieve that goal. So yeah, I hope I make sense, So yeah, as much as I love my commission work, I just can't wait to finish all of it so I can finally take my first steps in the big plan that I already planned out for the past 2 years. For the past 2 years since my gap year, for anyone who doesn't know yet, I threw myself into freelance work for some self-worth as soon as I took my gap year. And I ended up confusing myself for the longest time possible. But at the beginning of this year, I have decided that there's going to be no more client work for me, at least until the end of 2024. And I am very grateful for all the opportunities, and I've had amazing clients for the past 2 years, and I am still having a few comms left to finish this year, but as soon as I get them all done, I can finally go take an art class to enroll into my new university. Yay! That's so exciting. Anyways, let's get back to what I have been doing lately. I get back to reading books, even though I have read on my Kindle for quite some time now, but when it comes to paperback book, I haven't read one since 2022. And by that I mean novels, books with a specific world build, yada yada yada. I did touch some of the informative books though, like for example, The Art of Whipped Cream, I'm going to put the cover on the screen, or books that change the world. And the reason why I read these kinds of books is, for example, Whipped Cream, I read this one for more insights on set design work and how we can incorporate illustrations into theater design, etc. And I read the other one to learn about the differences in different cultures and what we considered to be important in history. Also, I might have touched some other books, but most of them are informative, not novel-based. So I've been reading children's book again, and we're going to have a small footage of me reading in this vlog, and also I've been finishing up the novels that I left off a few years ago. I also picked up a crime and mystery novel, which is set in COVID-19 scenario, and the name is Black Showman and the Murder in an Obscure Town by Higashino Keigo. I'm going to put the cover on the screen right now. It honestly feels so weird to read about an imaginary case that took place during COVID-19, because it feels like it was only yesterday when I had to take my classes through screen, but yes, I ended up hunting down some more books. And this package, it was like 500k for like 5 to 6 books. I don't recall, but there was like one huge interactive books, right? And tons of other informative image books. All of them in English, which should normally cost more than 500k for all of them. So like for me, it was a really nice deal. But anyways, here's just me flipping through the pages, and for the next footage, we're going to hear me talk about why I want to have more books like these. I have my reasons, okay? Anyways, let's enjoy the rest of the video. And yeah, spoiler alert again, this video is very unscripted, so I won't ensure the coherence of my content in this video. So, I do want to yap a little bit more about the books that I've got recently. The other day, I went to a cafe with my boyfriend, and right at the moment when I stepped out of my house, I was like, okay, I need something, I need a reference book. I was questioning myself on which book I wanted to bring along with me, so I got this one. On that day, I realized that this is the only picture book I got in my collection of books. The only book that is small enough and that is light enough for me to bring to a cafe. I do have other books, but those are too thick for me. So let me just grab an example, okay? I love this one. I love this one. But you can see the size of it, and to bring this every time I go to a cafe is going to be really annoying. Oh, by the way, I got these from my mom. Merry Christmas 2022. So yes, like for example this one. I can study the patterns. I think they look very sophisticated, and I can stare at these all days. So let's just get back before I stroll too far away from our previous topic. What I meant to say was, I don't have enough picture books. I don't know how you say it. Books with images in it. So like for example, not this one. I got myself this, and this is exactly the type of book that I was looking for, because let me just show you. They have all these kinds of they have all these kinds of different beautiful objects, and I love the fact that I can learn about other cultures, because the other day I was thinking of the Maya culture, and I was thinking like, I wonder if my book collections has anything related to Maya culture. To my surprise, I didn't have any book about it, and yes, I have managed to get my hands on some really wonderful books, and these also benefits me because for next year my major is going to be history of art. I do want to know as much as possible how each culture has their own jewelry, how each culture has their own herbs, and how each culture has their own thing. I have many questions regarding to that sort of subject. So yes, this was originally 420,000 Vietnam dong, but I got this for 100,000 in a cafe shop, which is a steal, by the way, and it's fairly new. Back to like 10 years ago, I would prefer only new books, and I would prefer my books to not have any sort of fingerprints, any sort of dust, any sort of paper crinkles or whatever. I do not want that on my books. But now, as I get older, I'm 23, I figured that the information in the book is much more important than how the book looks. So I hope that I make sense. But yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it for my yapping about books. And this one I already showed you guys, like in the early, at the beginning of this video. So yes, let's get back to whatever I wanted to do. Japanese CD is supposed to have a different kind of seal, but because I opened it already, so I have to put it in another plastic bag, so it looks quite old, but it's not. I just received it like yesterday or something. I was asked to sing in Hagali's newest album. I'm going to put the link down below because I will always support Rai and her amazing work. I loved her work so much. I loved fantasy music, and it baffles me to know that people can just whip out beautiful melodies out of thin air. So anyways, I was invited to sing in this album. I previously did sing in another album, but it was like in 2022. So this one is like the newest one in 2024. So this is the 2022 Orchelia's Vox CD. This was my first debut in a Japanese album. I don't know if that's the correct term for guest a singer in these kinds of albums, but anyways, yes, this was the first CD. It's so pretty. Let me just admire how pretty it is. And the artist for these two albums did such a great job. I actually filmed some footage opening the CD, so I'm probably going to put it up now. It was my first time receiving something straight from Japan. There were so many documents. They wrapped it on the package. Normally we would go through like somebody else to get the package, so it was quite an experience. But yeah, let me just show you guys real quick. This is like, I don't know what this one is called. I saw Rai take pictures of these flaps a lot. This is the track list. This is, oh my gosh, this is a CD. Look at it, it's so pretty. I love the title so much. Again, it feels so good to see my name printed on a physical CD. Let's just get the lyric book out. We can have a look at it. I also love my song as well, but I love the title track specifically. That's my name on it. Really happy again. I'm going to and put it back into the plastic bag, and let me just show you the A4 clear file real quick. It's really pretty as well. But anyways, that's some quick update on my life recently and things that I wanted to brag about and wanted to talk about. At first I thought that this video was going to be 100% unscripted, but I ended up making some small script for the first and the last part where I recorded myself like this. But anyways, that's the update on my packages for the past few weeks. I didn't film everything because I got like 3 other figures packages near the end of May, but because I filmed those videos with my phone, so it was not in the best quality to upload to this vlog. I also bought myself a new cheap notebook. I used to write literally everything down on my green cover notebook, but I ended up flooding the notebook with everything. There were no guidelines or structure whatsoever, and for that reason I find it quite hard to trace back what I've written down. Even though I haven't finished my old one, I decided to buy this red notebook, and since then I have written down quite a few topics that I was interested in, and also the cheap color tabs works very well as well. I also got myself some Muji gel pens, even though I don't normally use stationery from a specific brand like this. I once bought like a simple rectangle pencil case from Muji as well, and it was when the brand first opened in Ho Chi Minh City. I actually never expected to use the pencil case that much, but I ended up using only that specific pencil case whenever I go outside, and it was so convenient and simple to use. I think the more I grow, the more I prefer functional and simple products. Now let's get back to our notebook. For the last few months, I realized that I don't actually remember what I read, and I figured that I should jot down the random knowledge that I have learned throughout the day into my notebook. I think that it is a very great way to memorize stuff. And also, using the notebook for the past few weeks has also encouraged me to read more and be more curious about the world. I slowly recognized habits in my daily life, and I am now having one topic down on paper every single day. But I try my best to not force myself too much on the learning and try to treat the activity more like a journey. I'm currently doing a simple research on ballet theatre. As you can kind of see in these footages, I've always wanted to print out my work and create something like those paper theatres back in the 19th centuries, mostly because I love working with layers and paper texture, and also making paper puppets would be one of my projects in the future too. And as much as I love digital work, I've always wanted to have some sort of tangible products in my hand, so that one day my future house can be filled with my work as an artist, and I think that's very awesome. Shoutouts to Mark Graves and Mark Ryan Workspace, because they have given me so much inspiration throughout the years and to develop myself as a person who works and lives in the creative field. Back then I used to have a Notion page as well, and I still keep all the links to all the articles in my Notion, but I also realized that I tend to forget things easier when I use a digital journal, so I have switched to traditional pen and paper for half a year now, and I think it works very well for me. And lately I've been doing more readings, and I was actively looking out for knowledge, and the more I learn about creative individuals, the more I want to learn about the world and everything around me. I believe that reading and writing helps with nurturing my creative brain and also helps with expanding my point of view, which is something that I find quite important for anyone who wants to understand more about humans like me. But yes, I do believe that we should always learn and keep pushing ourselves forward, and like my mom always says, we need to learn literally our whole life. For me right now, I am very grateful that I get to explore myself and still have the opportunity to gain more knowledge. Education shouldn't be a privilege, but sadly at this moment in time and in this economy, I must say that I have the privilege to keep on studying, and for that I feel very grateful for my family and specifically my mom. For this channel, I hope to keep on making videos and sharing my journey with everyone. I hope you guys have been well, and I want to say that if you have the chance to, please try to understand yourself as much as possible. It should save you so much time in the future and reduces the chance of you screwing things up, because I've learned this the hard way. With that being said, welcome to the end of this video, yay! Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me yapping and watching this video, and I wish all the wonderful things to everyone. Have a great day, bye!